Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video tutorial, I will explain in Django REST framework applications how to create a nested serializers. First, let's check the student model. I click open link in a new tab. See here we got student ID and student name because the student name, the student model contains student ID and student name. Let's add the student ID is 1. The student name is Charan. Click post. And notice here the second one, the marks, the column is added, which these marks we are getting from this table. So we'll do that one also. Let's open the marks model. Now let's enter the marks model. See here the student model object 1. We have already inserted one record. Let's browse this one. See here we got the student records. We have already inserted the student details, student ID. Now in the marks API, marks ID is 1, max I've got 59 and 68 and 65. And the student ID is the student model object 1, which is our this one, student ID 1. The object 1 is click post. See here the student marks is inserted successfully. Let's check here in our database. Click browse. The student marks are inserted successfully, and see here now when I click enter here, see here we got the output. Notice the marks here. This is our second serializer. We have nested this mark serializer into the student serializer in student model. If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates. Before creating a new Django REST framework application, first we'll create a new database in PHP MyAdmin database, which is MySQL. Let's click the new database, new folder. And here we got the create database. The database name is Charan. I'm creating a new database called Charan. Click create. And here the Charan database is created successfully. Let me browse this Charan database. So notice here there is no tables found in this database Charan. Now my aim is first I will migrate some tables, the custom model tables into this database. After that, we'll create the nested serializers to insert the records into the tables. Before creating a new Django REST application, first we require one new folder. So I'm creating a new folder in E drive. Right click the mouse, click new and select folder. And the folder name is rest-nested serializer, nested serializers, enter. Let me browse this folder. There is no folder. Right now this folder is empty. So now we'll create a new Django REST web framework application in this folder. I'm using Visual Studio Code to create a new Django REST framework application. But before creating the application, we must add that folder which we have created in the E drive. So let's open file, then select open folder, and the folder I have created in the E drive. This is our folder. I have selected that one, then click select folder button. And here the folder is successfully added to the Explorer panel. At right side we got the welcome page. Let's close this welcome page. Now we'll create a new Django web application, the framework application in this folder. For that go to view and select terminal. And here we got our terminal, which is nothing but a command prompt or PowerShell. And also notice the path is the folder name, the rest nested serializers. This folder I have created in the E drive. Now I'm creating an application in this folder, Django -admin start project, and the project I'm adding nested serializers. Nested serializers is my application name. Click enter. And see here the app is successfully created in this folder. Let me expand this application. When I expand this application, notice you can find one subfolder with the same folder name and one manage.py Python file. Let me allow to expand this subfolder also. And the subfolder contains some default Python files like settings.py, urls.py. All these files and folders has been created automatically when I created this application. So after creating the application, the next step, let's add the models folder. So right click the models or right click the subfolder, click new, and the file name is a models.py, enter. Now in this models page contains the properties. So those models, the classes, I want to migrate into the children database. So before that, first let's import the models class from Django.db import models. After that, let's define a class called student class, student model class, student model models.model colon, and this student model class contains student id is equals to models dot integer field, and this is a primary key, true. Then we require the student name also. I'm adding models dot char field. The length is max underscore length is equals to 100. Now in the student model class contains only two properties, student ID and student name. Now the second class, because I am creating the nested properties, nested serializers, so we require two models. The second model contains the marks model models dot model colon, and first one is a marks id is equals to models dot integer field is a primary key, this is a primary key is equals to true, and the next one is the subjects I'm adding. The first subject is a max is equals to models dot integer field, second one is a physics is equals to models dot integer field, and the last marks for the student subject is a social computers. Let's say add computers here is equals to models dot integer field. When we want to create the nested serializers many to many fields, the relationship between these two tables, we require the foreign key. So this student model, the student ID I'm adding in this marks model, student ID, we need to add exact the same property name here, which is our column name in our table. Student ID is equals to models dot, I'm adding foreign key, the key that key is the foreign key, then this foreign key I'm getting from this student model comma, then I'm adding the related name is equals to, let's add the students, let's add the marks here, marks, then on delete is equals to, on underscore delete is equals to models dot cascade, that's it. When we want to create a nested serializers, there must be a relationship between the two tables. Here have related with the student ID from this student model in this marks model. In the marks model, the student ID is a foreign key. Let's save this file, save all. After that, next we require the admin page, because I want to create these tables in the database, in this database, children database. So we need to migrate these two models. For that I require admin page, admin.py. In this admin page, first let's import from django.contrib import admin. After that we require the models classes also. From my model class is inside my application name, nested serializers.models import. Let's add the student model comma and marks model. These two models, the class names I have added here. Then let's register admin these two models, admin.site.register. First one is a student model and the second one is admin.site.register. I am registering the marks model also, marks model. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. After that, the most important step when we want to dealing with the databases, open serializer.py. First, to run our application, we require to install our application. Here, our application name is a nested serializer. Let's add the application name inside the install_app section, comma, then come to the bottom. If you check in the databases, the default database engine is the SQLite 3, but here we are using MySQL, so I am adding MySQL. Then let's delete this default database name of SQLite 3. Let's add our database. Our database name is Charan database. Let's add that one, Charan. After that, we require the credentials, which is a username, is a root, and the password colon. Here the password I am leaving blank because I don't have any password to log into my PHP my admin database. If you have any password, please enter between these single quotes. Then we require the host also. The host is a local host for MySQL, local host. Then the port number, again between single quotes, the port number of our database, MySQL database. To find that, here you can check MySQL 3308. This is a port number 3308, and the last attribute I'm adding the options colon within curly brackets. Let's initialize the command with init_command colon between double quotes. Let's set the SQL mode. We'll set the SQL mode is equals to between single quotes strict_trans_tables. This is a T is capital here, tables. Let's close with the comma. That's it. We have configured our MySQL connection string also in these databases. Let's save this file. Now, before creating the nested serializer API, first we'll migrate these models into our database. So for that, switch to the terminal. We need to add this application name to the path cd. I'm adding the nested serializers. Then let's run the command to check the MySQL client is installed or not. So pip install MySQL client, enter. And see here I got a message, the requirement already satisfied, which means the packages, what the packages are required is already installed in our application. Next, let's migrate Python manage.py, migrate, enter. See here, once I click the command, enter that command, all these files has been created automatically in our database. Right now there is no table spawned in database. When I click the Charan database, see here we got the database Charan contains all these tables, the default database tables created by the Django. But I want to create these two models as a tables. So to create the custom models as a table, we require Python manage.py, migrate, double hyphen, let's run -sync db, enter. See here, after run this command, the created tables, this is our application name, it's our model name. Both models is created successfully in our database. Right now we got 10 tables. Let's browse this database again. See here we got the 2 tables. The model names are added successfully. Let's browse the student model table, open link in a new tab. See, the student model contains student ID and student name. The student model contains student ID and student name. And the second table is the marks model. Let's browse that one also. So here the marks model, which contains the marks ID, max, physics, computer ID. Now it's time to create the nested serializer application. Again, right click the subfolder, click new file. The file name is a serializers.py, enter. The serializers.py, first let's import the models. Now here we got our serializers.py. Now before adding these models and fields, let's import the necessary classes from Django, from REST framework. It's a REST framework application. Import serializers. The next class I want to add, the models classes are required. So first we require the models, nested serializers dot models, import. I'm importing the student model, comma, marks model. After that, let's define the serializer called class student serializer. Serializers dot model serializer class, and I have added. Then let's define another class called meta class, and this meta class contains the model name. Model is equals to, first let's add the student model, then we require the fields also. Fields is equals to between double quotes underscore all underscore. After that, to create the nested serializers, if you check in the models, I'm making relation between the student model with the marks model. So first let's add the marks model here. Create the class called marks. Let's add marks serializers dot model serializer colon class called meta class, and the model name is marks model, and fields is equals to between double quotes double underscore all. Now here in the meta class, I have a relation with the student marks details. Let's call this marks detail in the student column. Let's add in this the related name is marks. Copy that one, paste here, is equals to, I'm adding this marks serializer. Copy that one and paste here. The model, the serializer name I'm adding here. Then next one is a read only property I'm adding. Read only is equals to true. Next I'm adding many is equals to true. That's it. We have created the nested serializers. This student serializer contains the marks serializer fields also. So let's save this file, save all. Now let's again right click the subfolder, click new file. To create the API, we require the views page, views.py, enter. Now in this views page contains the actual logic to create the API. So before that, let's import the necessary classes from nested serializers. My application name dot models, import student model, comma marks model. The class name, the model names I'm adding. Next, I'm importing the serializers also. The serializer class, this serializers class is inside my application. So again, I have added the application name dot serializers, import. Let's add the serializers name, student serializer, comma. Next one is a marks serializer. After that, now let's create the API. I'm creating the class based API. So I'm defining a class student API. So I require the view state here from. I'm creating the API with the view state from REST framework dot not dot. We don't require any dots here. Add simply view sets. Colon here view sets dot model view set colon. Then here we require now in this API class contents. Now in this API we are using view sets, so we require the query set is equals to first I'm adding the student model to get the objects student model dot objects dot all serializer class to add the serializer student serializer. Again we require one more class for the marks API view sets dot model view set colon query set is equals to, let's add the marks model. The model name is marks model dot objects dot all method serializers underscore class is equals to marks serializer. That's it. Let's save this file. Now before run these APIs we require to configure the URLs. So let's open the URLs. In the URLs first let's import from the views page, import views, then we require the default router also from REST framework dot routers routers import. From this routers class I'm importing the default router. After that let's define a variable called router is equals to default router, then register this router dot register between double quotes. I'm registering the router first this student model comma views dot the views. From this student model I want to get this student API. Next router I'm register for the marks model. Again models, let's copy this marks model, paste here, comma views dot we require the marks API. Copy that one and paste here. And also let's configure the path between single quotes comma we need to include these routers. So here we need to add the include class, then only we can access that include method. Here I'm including the router, the variable, this router variable dot URLs. That's it. Let's add a comma here. That's it. Let's save this file. Save all. And from here, so we need one more comma. We need one more comma here. Let's save this file. Save all. Now the next step is open settings.py. Go to top. This application is a REST framework application, so we need to install the REST API also between single quotes REST underscore framework. Let's save this file. Save all. That's it. We have done the complete coding part. Now let's run the server python manage.py, run server, enter. See, after I run the server we don't have any issues. Below that we got our web server link, control plus mouse click to browse this application. See, after I run the server, this is a default home page, but if you check the models and the URLs, The register model is the student model and marks model. We have two models here. First, let's check the student model. I click open link in a new tab. See here we got student ID and student name, because the student name, the student model contains student ID and student name. Let's add the student ID is 1. The student name is Charan. Click post. And notice here the second one, the marks, the column is added, which these marks we are getting from this table. So we'll do that one also. Let's open the marks model. Now let's enter the marks model. See here the student model object 1. We are already inserted one record. Let's browse this one. See here we got the student records. We have already inserted the student details, student ID. And now in the marks API, marks ID is 1, max I've got 59 and 68 and 65. And the student ID is the student model object 1, which is our this one, student ID 1. The object 1 is click post. See here the student marks is inserted successfully. Let's check here in our database. Click browse. The student marks are inserted successfully, and see here now when I click enter here, see here we got the output. Notice the marks here. This is our second serializer. We have nested this mark serializer into the student serializer in student model. That's it.